Take me back to 2010 when the band first started. What was the scene like back in Sheffield and around the areas?
It was quite a local scene. There was a lot of bands who were playing in like 100, 200 cap rooms. A lot of like local metal bands, local metalcore, hardcore kind of bands, and there wasn't much crossover in like between the metal and the hardcore world. There was kind of like you were a metal kid or a hardcore kid. But regardless, there was still a decent amount of shows for you to go to on a weekly basis. So it was quite a thriving little community.
So even though I'm an old fart, I'm a Leicester boy.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't been back to England, so I don't know what it's like.
Right,
Well,
okay,
what
yeah.
was it like sort of around that time? Was it difficult to break it out into the market?
I mean, I don't know to be honest, because it was never really our goal to break out, so to speak, but we just wanted to play shows and play to our friends and watch them mosh, I guess. It was like, yeah, it was never really a goal to break out, but then you had bands from our local area like Bring Me the Horizon who were touring the world, and I guess looking up to them was like pretty inspiring to see what they were doing, and it kind of put the idea in our head that oh, maybe one day we can do that too.
Cool. Now, listening to Reign of Suffering, which was back in 2013, and then talking about Malicious in 2022, you could definitely tell that there was a big difference in regards to how the band had moved forward with music style and lyrics. Was looking at comparing the two albums, do you feel that there's a hell of a lot of difference, and do you feel that you finally made your mark back in 2022?
Yeah, I mean, like there's like nearly a 10-year difference between the songs that we wrote on Reign of Suffering. So I feel like we matured as people, we matured as artists, I guess. So yeah, I think that we definitely grew a lot between in that time frame. Um, and yeah, I guess the stuff that we were singing about when we were 17, 18 years old isn't necessarily the stuff you want to be singing about when you're 27, 28.
The Malicious Intent was such, for me personally, was such a brutal album with tracks like Life Sentence, Unbroken Glass, title track, of course, and my favorite, Salvation. Salvation just is just pure, like it's insanity with the music style and how it goes up and down with the actual style of the song itself. So I
Thanks,
just want to
man.
sort of say, unreal, bloody brilliant.
Thank you very much. I feel like Salvation was a bit of an underrated song on that album, so
Oh,
it's one of my favorites too. So yeah, thank you for saying that.
to be honest, while I've been researching everything about you guys, I was listening to that back and forth, and couldn't stop. You know,
Sick,
I hope you
sick.
play it live too.
Maybe one day, yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, exactly. And in sorry, try again. 2019 is when you established your own record label, which is MLVT LTD. Yes, I'll get it right one day. Was that something that you wanted to establish sometime, or was that just a progression from the band?
I think it was always in the back of our minds that we wanted to maybe just put out or make our own label, and it was. I mean, we always kind of went under the moniker of MLVLTD from back in the days when we used to play shows with Desolated. It was kind of like a joke that whenever we played, we just called it Malevolated, and then it kind of formed into its own thing, and then we just, I mean, it's mainly Wilkie and Charlie's brainchild that the label is, and they just wanted to release good local UK bands and put them out for the world to see, I guess.
And then with the partnership with Nuclear Blast Family, how did that come about?
Um, to be honest, it was a while ago now, so I can't even really remember. But I think it was just a case of we hit them up and we were just like, "Yo, we have this kind of DIY label ourselves. How would you feel about maybe releasing this album as like a collab?" And they were all for it.
Now, it's been a few years between albums. Obviously, you toured extensively before you started writing the new album. Any particular tour that stand out more than the others?
Um, Oof, that's a tough
Or
one.
you so many places you can't remember?
I mean, honestly, the one of my favorite places that we've played so far, and I'm looking forward to coming back, is Australia. I mean, the last time we were there, we had a really good time. I mean, every time that we've come to Australia, we've had a sick time. It's one of our favorite places in the world to play. So, you know, we love this. We love the crowds there. Like, I feel like Aussies and people from the UK get along well. We have a lot in common, and like we understand each other more so than maybe other places in the world. So we have like I feel like we have a good relationship with the people over there. And yeah, everyone's always very welcoming to us. We're looking forward to coming back, and I just love being in the hot climate with the beaches and the nature and stuff. You know, it's beautiful down there. So um yeah, I'd say anytime we've been to Australia, I think the last time we were over was the Knotfest shows when they were epic. So looking forward to coming back.
Definitely. Now, the writing process of the latest album, which is not out until June, how did the process start and how different was it to what you've done previously?
So Josh has been jamming demo ideas for probably the last 2 years. And then when we knew that we were going to work with a producer on this record, like we kind of didn't know that whether it was going to be the right fit for us. It was like a bit of a change to the usual process. Um, we hit up Josh Wilbur, who's of course a legendary producer, works for bands like Lamb of God and stuff like that. So we pitched him our ideas, and he was all ears. And he came over to the UK for 2 weeks, and we did some pre-production with him. And we took all the demo ideas to him, and like worked on a few demo ideas with him, and he made the whole writing process a lot more fun. It was kind of nice to have a sixth member in the room with us, kind of mediating our ideas, telling us to not get hung up on certain things or certain phrases or riffs, and just kind of try ideas. And he really brought out the best in us, I think, and he was a lot of fun to work with. He was a really nice guy. Um, and then when we went over to LA to record the album with him, it was the whole experience was just pretty laid back and chill, and you know we were very efficient, and got it done in a month. I think we recorded the album a year ago today, or like near enough a year ago today. So um it was a great experience, and like it was the first time take recording outside of the UK, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
Was it Josh, though, that picked that you go and work at Dave Grohl's Studio 606?
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was obviously a huge privilege. Not many bands consider they get the opportunity to do that. So we're very lucky, and obviously recording on the same desk that Fleetwood Mac and Nirvana have recorded on is pretty surreal. But that was a really cool experience, and that place inspires a lot of creativity, and you know, the walls are adorned with plaques from Dave Grohl's career, which is amazing, an amazing career to look back on. And you know, it's yeah, it's just a very cool environment to be in.
Before we go and talk more about the album, the first single, If It's All the Same to You, and the video that goes with it, um, like just a big wow to that one. Firstly, it's like obviously it was something that when you guys put together, you just kept on sort of like, thinking, geez, is this actually happening?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we came up with the idea of the doing a heist, and then as we were in the planning phase of it, I remember I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw a clip of Snatch just like reposted, and I thought, how cool would it be if we could get Bricktop to do a cameo in the video? And yeah, we reached out to his agent, and he was on board from the start. It was a really cool experience for him to have him be a part of it. Um, yeah, really nice bloke. Had a lot of time for us, and yeah, it was obviously having him in the video was almost overshadowed the songs, to be honest. So Yeah, that's you know, the song itself is quite like a bluesy, fun, playful song, so it felt right to have kind of a tongue-in-cheek, fun type movie video to go alongside it.
Oh, totally. Honesty, loyalty, and integrity. What does each of these represent to you personally?
I feel like they're the driving force behind Malevolence, to be honest. We we've always kind of been honest and open with who we are and where we're at, and I feel like it's important to maintain integrity throughout being in this world of music. You know, I think that's just an important quality and trait to have.
So then obviously definitely an unshakable brotherhood within the band, with those words, and totally. How does that relate to the album though?
Um, I mean, with the music that we write, we've always written the music that we want to write rather than trying to follow trends or traditions or trying to copycat someone else. Um, and I feel like that's always been the unspoken rule of Malevolence. We've always kind of understood that from the start. We just want to write the music that we want to hear. Um, and I guess because we've known each other and been in the band with each other for so long, it's just kind of it's just understood between us all, you know.
So then with song titles like Trenches, So Help Me God, Demonstration of Pain, what two tracks stand out more than others? And can you explain them to me?
Um, I feel like Trenches stands out to me because it's hard and ignorant, and it's one that is just written purely for that live scenario. We want like, you know, the live scene is one of my favorite parts of being in the band, and sorry, the live show, I should say. And that song is purely for inciting as much chaos as we can bring. Um, and then the other one, I guess, would be Salt the Wound,
Okay.
because we've kind of you know, we've always had like a side of Malevolence where we have like the softer ballad type songs. But on this song, we really wanted to combine the two elements of heavy and soft and bring them together in one song. And that was kind of what we came up with. You know, we wanted to show both of those elements in the same song.
In Spite, what a song that must be, having Lamb of God's Randy Blythe work with you on that.
Yeah, that was a huge privilege. We got to know Randy quite well last year. We were on tour with them, and obviously Lamb of God and Randy are like artists that we've grown up listening to and bands that have inspired us since day dot. So to work with him on a tune and to now call him a friend is a real privilege. And his when I hit him up and asked him if he wanted to do he was on board from the start, and yeah, he understood that we just wanted him to come in and deliver that signature Randy style, and I think he really did that. I'm super proud to have him on the album.
Now, the album comes out in June. Talk to me about the cover. What does the cover represent to you?
So the idea behind the cover was we wanted to have a kind of central figure, which has been a kind of consistent theme across the Malevolence album artworks. But we didn't want him to have a face. We just wanted him to be doing the symbol of like silence or shush. And the album title itself, Where Only the Truth is Spoken, stems from a trip that Wilkie, our bass player, was on last year. And he got to talking to a guy in a bar about where they were from. And the guy asked Wilkie, "Oh, are you from Sheffield?" And Wilkie said, "Yeah." The guy replied with, "Ah, Sheffield, where only the truth is spoken." So I thought that was a really nice little anecdote, really. It was kind of like, oh, so people, it is quite true that, you know, people from Sheffield are known for being quite honest and open, saying things how they are. And then it felt right that if we were calling the album something related to Sheffield, that we kind of had this industrial theme in the background. Sheffield, known as the Steel City, so it's got a long history of that kind of industrial and like an industrial setting and environment. So it felt, right to include that in the artwork.
Okay, well, you spoke about the touring side of the band a bit earlier, and even Knockfest Australia 2023. That was obviously a big one for you, and I've read a lot of reports in regards to how ironic it was when you were on stage as to where you were placed. And even though you only had, I think, a 30-minute set, it was like just over the top.
Yeah, it was great. I think the first Knotfest was in Melbourne, and Bad Omens had dropped out, and we got bumped up a slot, and it was crazy. It was absolutely sick. There were so many people there, and like just the vibe across all of the shows was great. Like, yeah, we were earlier on in the day. I'm like, it can be tricky on some of them earlier slots to make people run in a circle and jump around and go mad, but because they've just walked through the door essentially for some of them. But the vibe was sick, the energy was cool, and yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back. I hope we get to do those Knotfest shows again as well.
Now you're coming back in May for headline shows. What can we expect?
So it's the first time that we're headlining in Australia, so we can expect a full-fledged Malevolence headline show. It's something that we haven't been able to deliver up until now. So you'll get to see us for longer than 30 minutes. But yeah, we'll be playing new material and playing all the older songs as well. Just high energy, a lot of fun, chaos, and hopefully everyone leaving with a smile on their face.
And I mean, like you mentioned, regards to that you'll be playing some new stuff. Obviously, out of more than 30 minutes, is it going to be a bit difficult though to work out what songs from the new album to play, even though the album won't be released as yet? Is there core tracks that you really want the public to get to know first?
So we'll probably just be playing the new singles that have released, because we'll only have time for them, I imagine. But so yeah, we'll be playing Trenches, and If It's All the Same to You, definitely.
And then obviously a mixture of sort of oldish to some of the new one. As long as you throw in Unbroken Glass, then I'll be happy.
yeah, that'll be in there.
Even if I can't get Salvation, at least if I can get Unbroken Glass, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, that'll be in there.
After Australia, where does your tour take you?
So after Australia, we come back to the UK, and then it's album release week. So we'll be doing numerous things up and down the UK to celebrate that, and then we'll be starting to look towards the headline tour at the end of the year, UK and Europe. Some of the biggest headline shows we've ever done. Just doing 11 shows around Europe and UK, and yeah, I can't say any more about that because the lineup's not announced. But there'll be a big celebration, and looking forward to that.
Cool. Well, we look forward to seeing you out here in May, and I look forward to hearing the whole album back to front, upside down, as loud as hell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'll be coming.
Thanks a lot for taking time out. Take it easy.
No worries, man. Thanks very much for having me, and I'll see you soon.
See you soon.